right, I haven't got time to mark this motherfucker. Here we go again. We can't hear anybody. Nobody can talk to anybody.
You guessed it, Pressure Points with your two favorite hosts. I'm D, and this is Blackberry AJ. We're coming at you with Season 8, Episode 8, Soybean Jesus. I'm sharing the tale of a rusty Jesus that took small-town Ohio by storm. So lock in and find us on Instagram and Patreon at pointsopressure.com, bitch.
Well, turn the fucking thing off, you dumbass.
Lot to unpack.
A lot to unpack from that. Why is it always small town Ohio?
I like to think that Ohio is like, they're far enough east that like all of the West is like, what the fuck is going on out there? And they're like just far enough west to not be on the East Coast that even East is like, what the fuck is going on out there?
It's the kind of place that when you hit rock bottom, you end up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got family from there,
Yeah.
from Ohio.
Yeah, true.
That
I
makes
saw the
sense.
pictures today.
Oh, yeah. Dude, my grandparents' wedding photos, man,
That shit was
that looks like
goofy.
me as a child.
It had me a little fucked up. I was like, who the fuck is that? I could only tell because of your grandma. I was like, oh, like I watched it like 7 times and I was like, what the fuck is he sending me a
weird.
picture
It's
of?
a weird photo.
And then I was like, oh, that looks like his grandma. And then I was like, Jesus Christ, that's his grandpa. Holy fuck.
They were
okay.
children. Like,
Yeah,
they looked
how
like
old
kids.
were they? Were they like
They were
18?
18, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, damn, dude.
Yeah, crazy.
Crazy shit. Ohio will do that to you.
Ohio will do that to you. Yeah, perpetual poverty.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came from like terrible poverty. I've talked about it before on the show with some of the stories that he's told about him being a kid. I probably haven't told many of his stories.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be another episode.
Yeah.
Or I'll sprinkle it into this one if you talk about poverty in Ohio.
No, not really.
Damn.
No.
All right. Or poor people.
No, just religious crazies.
What's the difference?
Well, I guess so, yeah. You got to find hope somewhere.
Yeah. No, but
If it's not in your fucking wallet, then I guess it'll be in
he's taking
the
it on
Lord
himself.
Jesus.
This Saturday I'm going back over
Oh, okay.
to hang out with my peepaw.
Nice.
Teaching me the family business of the only thing that he does. Nobody else in the family does it. He
Freeze
reloads.
drying. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
What is it?
reloading, ammo reloading.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
he was showing me, showing me his stash today.
Did you guys have like a family thing today?
Yeah, a little family
Oh,
get
okay.
together, and then he'll
Gotcha.
always be like, "Oh, I gotta show you this thing," and then, he talks, and it's awesome. Love him to death, but man, he's a long-winded fellow.
Yeah, he's a little chatter.
Yeah, so we were gone for like 30, 45 minutes.
Nice.
Actually, that's the low-end estimate.
Yeah,
but
it was
yeah.
actually 3 hours.
It was probably like 3 hours. No, it was great. It was good to see him. You do
Good.
anything fun this week?
Jesus Christ. Yeah, it was a busy fucking week.
Yeah.
No work. I took the 4 days off and had the holiday on Monday.
Hell yeah.
Was a nice reset, I'm going to be honest. But it went by so fucking fast.
'Cause you were busy. You
Yeah,
didn't have time
man.
to just rot out.
Yeah, so Monday played like video games all fucking day,
Hell
dude. It was
yeah.
amazing. Tuesday went snowboarding with my buddy, and it was so nostalgic and so fun and surprisingly cheap. So yeah, it was a great time.
How much is gear rental up there?
I have no idea.
Damn.
The line was longer for the gear rental when we got there than it was for like the fucking lift.
Damn.
So yeah, there are a lot of people
All
renting
right.
right now.
Scrounge
In
up
all
an extra
honesty-
board for me.
In all honesty, the easiest approach, if anyone's considering getting into snowboarding, the simplest approach is just buying used shit on
Savers.
yeah. I mean,
The DI.
you might
The
find
DI
something on
sometimes has
Savers,
stuff.
Facebook. I haven't taken her yet, but a few years ago I got Abby a board and boots that fit and they're sized correctly. The board size is sized correctly. Came with bindings and it was like $50 total.
Nice.
Mind you, it's not like top of the line shit.
yeah,
but it's like,
I don't
hey,
need that.
it's just entry level.
I'm going twice.
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
Yeah, just spray it with the foot fungal shit and
Yeah.
you'll be good to go.
Boil it in a pot of water.
Yeah. honestly, if you're gonna get into like snowboarding and everything, if you've never done it before, it is so expensive if you're getting things new. Like I want to get new boots, for example. I'm not going to, like, I think like 6 years ago, back when we were going like 3 times a week, it probably would have made sense for me to get them then. But the boots I was looking at were like, I think like 180 to like 300.
Woo.
Yeah, boards are hella expensive too. The bindings I got were about the same price. Like if you're gonna get everything new, you're looking close to like I mean, and get a helmet, get a fucking helmet. But yeah, you're looking at like just under like $1,700, $2,000 for like low end stuff. Yeah, it's expensive. And we talked about it. My buddy and I were talking about it, and I was like, it just doesn't seem like it's worth it to be like a weekend warrior on this shit anymore. Because that was what we'd do. We'd go like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes on Monday, just depending on how like days of the week fell for work. And like we could go all day. It'd be A-okay. But it's the lines get so long so fast. We went to like a starter mountain this time, which is why it was so cheap. Which is the approach when you're starting out. Don't go to like some big ass resort, because those are just expensive, and their bunny hills are chocked full of people and kids, and everything feeds back through those bunny hills. It's just chaos. But yeah, like I've seen pictures of like Saturdays where like Park City is a good example of it. People will take like a vacation and they'll get like 2 runs in, but you paid like 150 for the day.
Damn.
It's fucked.
That's fucked up.
It's insane, dude. And prices have like skyrocketed since COVID. People are like, oh my God, I'm going to go crazy out there. And like lines get crazy. There's so many people, and the snow quality hasn't been great the last few years anyway.
Okay, so you're saying go on like a Tuesday at 2 p.m.
In all honesty, yeah. Like it started getting busy when school got out where we were. Just because there's like a high school like less than a mile away. And like we were like, yeah, I mean, we got the runs in we wanted and it was cheap, so fuck it. And just kind of dipped out of there. But yeah, it's tough. I'm sure that like night boarding and shit is just as hard now. It's a lot of people.
Well, my wife has shown some interest since you guys went. So
okay. Fuck yeah, dude.
Maybe.
I love it. The biggest thing is just doing it often enough and be like your legs being in shape for you. Because, dude, I was so fucking sore the whole goddamn like next day.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm
like,
sure we'll be so
dead.
fucking sore.
Yeah, but it's so fun. It's a great time. Yeah, we had a good old time. It was
good.
It was like hopping back on a bicycle. We were both kind of nervous. I was like, I'm going to break my leg. And we did a half a run, and like halfway down I was like, oh, that's right, this is how this works, and was just like,
yeah, oh, you figured it out. Yeah,
and just started cruising. So it was a good time, man.
Nice.
And then fucking Thursday went down, met up with some friends that flew out from Rhode Island to come hang out. Went to a little bar, played a bunch of pool, and then took one of our friends' dogs to a dog park while it was snowing. It was a good time. And then
nice.
Got some dinner. And then Friday, went back down, played some fucking Top Golf with everybody, which was a good time. I love Top Golf, dude. It's such a a blast. It's a good time. It's just expensive. It's another one that's like, unless you have a full group, it's just like, whoa, unless you're going early. If you go at night, you're paying way too much. Yeah, and then went back down again on Friday after we came back and took a little nap. Went back again and went down and had some drinks and just took it easy. Played a shit ton of pool again.
Hell yeah,
pool's a good old time. Great. Yeah, it was good.
Nice. We gotta get a pool table.
I know, right? Abby was saying like, oh yeah, my grandma has one down in her basement, and I was like, that sounds cool and all, but I was like, where the fuck would we put it? And she goes, dude, it is so big, you would have to like skirt around the edges in this room.
Perfect. Because it's also a great gaming table.
Yeah.
We can play D&D on it, and it's our recording table.
Yeah. The only problem would be, fitting other people in the room at the same time as the pool table.
We could figure it out. This room's
But yeah.
okay size.
I told her, I was like, once we get the fucking car and the little trailer out of the garage,
We'll have a lot of
I was
room
like,
out there.
We'll have a lot of room. And she was like, "Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
We'll get a used hot tub and a pool table and put
Oh
them out
fuck!
there."
Oh, that sounds amazing.
But yeah,
A stinky hot tub,
yeah, fuck yeah, moldy pool table,
slightly Parmesan smelling hot tub,
yeah, perfect.
pool table, and then 4 workstations so that metal flakes get in the hot tub and
Hell
on the
yeah,
pool table.
even better. It's not a scratch if you make the ball into the hot tub.
Yeah,
But yeah,
you actually win.
It was a good, busy week, but it was nice. It was
Nice.
I caught up on so much fucking sleep.
Oh,
I never
fuck
take
yeah.
like afternoon naps. Yesterday and today, I slept like each day for like 3 hours in the middle of the afternoon.
Damn.
I was like, fuck yeah.
Just catching up.
Yeah.
Hell
so
yeah.
Tomorrow's going to be bullshit. I'm going to kill myself tomorrow
Yeah.
afternoon. But yeah, they're probably going to swing by too. So that'll be kind of nice. But yeah, it's a good week.
Nice.
Good. Nice little reset, that's for sure. So
Dang.
yeah,
Sounds chill.
it was. Yeah, and then yeah, we'll just be back at it this week. So
Yeah,
away we
back
go.
to the grind.
Yeah, back to the grind set, making that money. But yeah, I don't think we have any other announcements or anything really.
No, I don't think so.
Subscribe on Patreon, follow us on Instagram.
And Blue Sky, Points of Pressure.
Check us out on Blue Sky. I keep getting notifications for your posts, and it doesn't like the posts that you're doing on Blue Sky, but it doesn't clarify on the notifications. It's just like, so-and-so liked your post. And I'm like, dude, I haven't put anything on there for like 2 weeks. What the fuck are you talking about? It's been confusing the shit out of me, but I was like, oh, okay. All right,
See, I just turn off all the notifications so I never know. It's great.
But yeah, so yeah, we are back to it. Should I just start in? Anything else?
Yeah, let's get. Well, we got. What's your official
My official
Blackberry Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar review?
Blackberry Dr. Pepper. I think if you like Blackberry Fanta, you would like Blackberry Dr. Pepper. If you don't like flavored Dr. Peppers, if you just like OG Dr. Pepper, just pass.
Well, yeah.
I just like.
If you don't like cheesecake, don't eat cheesecake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I'm saying if you
No, it's-
love like
yeah.
just regular Dr. Pepper, yeah, because like the some of them can be really like when it
Yes.
comes to flavored stuff. I feel like everywhere's doing it now. They're just like, oh, we got to switch up our whole thing, get everyone to try the new thing. Yeah, I dig it. I don't think that I would ever be like, oh, I'm going to get a bottle of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
I like Dr. Pepper as is.
I like Dr. Pepper. I feel like their Diet Dr. Pepper falls short of other diet sodas, but their Dr.
That's
Pepper
fair.
Zero is pretty solid.
Yeah.
I like this. I like their flavored Dr. Peppers
Yeah.
in zero form.
I think they're oh, that's fair. That's fair. I haven't really this is the only one I've had in like zero. But like they can for me feel too sweet sometimes.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, that's too much. But yeah. Still good. I'll still drink it.
Solid. So everybody go out and buy them. Sponsored by Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Black Cherry.
Yeah.
Taste the heat, not the meat.
Yeah, that is their new saying.
That's their slogan, yeah.
Dr. Pepper pulled pork coming to Taco Bell near you.
Bong.
Sponsored by Taco Bell and Disney. Yeah.
And
So
Disney Plus. Check out Disney Plus.
yeah. Cancel your Disney Plus subscription on us.
We do legally have to say, no, we're not actually sponsored. Can you imagine?
So we'll go back to mid-August 1986.
Ooh, good year.
Yeah, it was a grand old year. The 80s, I think, a solid like transition time period for the world.
The ozone
We're, like,
melting away.
Yeah, we're just before like the 90s where the internet started taking off
And destroying
we're
us.
just after like the hippies and all their protests and shit. Now you're in the 80s where corporations are people and trickle down economics is just beginning to not work because it never did.
Bring me back.
Yeah, right. So I don't remember what her last name was, but our old friend Rita was driving home
Hayworth.
late at night through Fostoria, and I could be fucking that up. Fostoria, Ohio. She's driving home.
Classic. Big town.
17,000 person population, small
Huge
town
city.
Ohio,
Oh.
man. And I mean, since 86, I think one of the articles I found was written in like 2021. They've had a decline in population of 23%. Yeah. So
Why?
small town Ohio is even smaller town Ohio. I wonder why. Because small town Ohio somehow is worse than big town Ohio.
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah, so she's driving on home and she passes the soybean oil
The soy boy
plant.
oil
Yeah,
plant.
soy boy oil plant. That's a lot. But she passes the soybean oil plant, and at night their security lights will turn on and glow onto the side of the big old tanks that they have. And her words, not mine, or I guess she's driving past and her jaw just drops. And in her words, my hands come off the wheel. I crossed my arms over my heart, and I said, "Oh my Lord, my God!" And what grabbed her eye? It was the water and rust spots on the side of one of these soybean oil tanks. She made out the shape of our Jesus H. Christ,
Lord and Savior.
Wait, that's not it. Because usually, like, I mean, we've all kind of heard about the silly little stories of like, oh, somebody's toaster kicked out toast that had the Virgin Mary on it, kind of shit. It's always been it's kind of been around for such a long time.
Yeah, they've got a specific name for like the sighting and appearance of Jesus. So weirdly enough, this is a brief aside, but it's related.
You're good.
There are a lot of stories, and a lot of them are older, of like the sighting of a saint, and then there's a miracle, and like it follows this formula in a lot of these older stories, and a lot of them are like reported in newspapers and stuff like that. I say older as in before 2000.
Yeah.
And some of them, very old, but they seem to follow a very close to the same formula, and I don't know. I think it's interesting. There's a lot of the fact that there is a phenomena almost. I don't get to talk about paranormal stuff very often, but there's almost like a pattern within
kind
this.
of they all fall into kind of thing.
Where it's like, oh, there's an appearance and there's a miracle and there's this and then there's that, and then it all falls apart as soon as somebody looks close enough.
Yeah.
In general, I'm not saying that's what this is. I'm just saying that's what it reminded me of. Is some of these stories like there's some in. I won't get into it, but I love these stories of the Jesus sighting that causes like a religious revival of sorts, and all this stuff happens because it's so interesting.
Oh yeah.
In
People go crazy with it, and like, to be fair, like a lot. I mean, this is the fucking middle of the '80s. They just like 2 years.
Cocaine is cheap and plentiful.
2 years earlier, got their precious Republican back in office. So God was coming back to the country, I suppose, in their eyes. But yeah, like I've always thought that it's one of those things that's like you kind of like. Mind you, I'm such a major skeptic on these things, and then also you tie it back into religion, and I'm like, oh yeah, bullshit. But for me, it's like, yeah, people are going to see what you want to see. That's fair.
Yeah,
completely
100%.
fair.
I mean,
it's like looking at clouds. You're like,
the
oh,
Shroud
that
of
looks like a
Turin.
dog. Yeah,
like that. That's not how face grease works, but okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, if you see it and it gives you comfort, more power to you, I suppose. So in Rita's case, she goes home and she doesn't doesn't talk to anybody.
Her
about
hands
it.
left the wheel. So she didn't crash into the soybean tanks. So Jesus took the wheel in that moment.
Jesus did take the wheel. It's actually funny. She was interviewed by Times. Yes, this was an event that went as an article in Times Magazine. Yeah, it was that fucking big. When she was interviewed by them, she even attributed, well, I sure am glad that I bought my new Ford Taurus because the alignment was set just right, or I would have veered off the road. Yeah, Jesus Take the
Holy
Wheel
shit.
hadn't come out
Oh,
by
damn.
Carrie Underwood yet, so she didn't quite have that.
Well, it happened even if she
verbiage.
didn't know that.
Yeah. Jesus stepped in. He was like, "See my image." Or sorry, he would have been Ohio Jesus, so he would have said Soy Boy Ohio Jesus. I'm not even gonna approach that fucking impression.
Please try that.
I'm okay.
Can you do a Nazareth accent soy boy?
Whoa! Jesus was white. In this,
Oh, sorry.
In this episode,
In this
Jesus
episode,
was
well,
white.
he's rusty.
Yeah,
but...
this is America Jesus.
Oh, American.
Uncle Sam, remember him?
Yeah, the real guy.
Yeah, clearly real white Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Who was also Jesus. Pff, come on,
Easy.
AJ,
Come
what are you
on.
doing? But yeah, she kind of like she was in awe. She was like, "Oh my God!" Like I saw the Lord tonight, but she didn't really tell anybody on her drive home. Or I guess she couldn't have because it was the 80s, unless she had like a fucking car phone. But she got home. She didn't really tell her husband about it or anything. She held on to it for like 4 days until who was it? Until her friend Dorothy came over, and so that weekend she goes, "Dorothy, there's something I gotta show you." And Dorothy goes, "Okay, like." Let's go for a ride, Rita. So Rita and Dorothy hopped in her new Ford Taurus, drove 2 miles over to the soybean oil plant, took a look at the tank, and Rita didn't even have to say anything.
Because both of their hands left the wheel.
Yeah. Dorothy was in awe by the sight of God. Or God's son, or however the fuck.
Both. It's both.
Whatever the fuck it
Superposition.
was. Yeah, whatever you believe.
As an ancient Christian and Catholic religious specialist.
Yeah, it was both.
So Jesus is the Son of God, but he carries within him God. So it's like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost as a trifecta are separate entities, but they are also the same. Because they're all the same under
I suppose
God's
it is
power.
good for us to kind of walk our new non-Christian,
Hey, fuck you,
our
Liza.
new non-Christian Japanese viewers and our new non-Christian Indian viewers. So I suppose there you go. There's your Christianity lore drop of the episode.
Yeah. All negative one of you.
Yeah, right. Rita and Dorothy are in shock. The next night, they take out another one of their friends, and they're both like, "Okay, we're not crazy."
No,
So
no.
they take out their third friend, kind of as like, you gotta get 2 eyes on it.
It's the 80s. They should have brought
2
a
additional
Polaroid
eyes.
camera.
Well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
And they take their other friend out there, probably named like Caroline or something. And they all see it, and they're just like, "Oh my heavens! I've seen the Lord God with his hands on the shoulders of the young boy." Like
Holy
I shit you
shit.
not. Like the visage that they're seeing is Jesus in his robes with his hands out on the shoulder of a boy in robes.
That is
It is one of the more
Hold on.
like no, it's one of the more like intense visages.
normally it's like slightly his face maybe.
Yeah, most people will
Someone
see
spray
like
painted Obi-Wan Kenobi on a wall.
yeah, or people will see like something phallic looking that has lines in it, and they're like, "Oh my God, that's the Virgin Mary," because she's just shaped like a
she's kind of shaped like a cock and
yeah,
balls.
she
kind of is,
It's a
yeah.
fucking wrinkly hot dog. Like it works, I
Yeah.
suppose.
It's a Vienna sausage.
Yeah. If you look at my penis just right, it looks like the
It looks
Virgin
like, oh my
Mary.
God, it's the
my
Virgin
God.
Mary.
Yeah, if you squint really hard,
Yeah.
and I stretch it as far as I can.
Yeah.
So after all 3 of these ladies see it, they're like, "I suppose now's the time to gossip about it." And so it blows up, dude. Like everybody in town is starting to get word of this, and pretty much overnight, like I think this falls on like Sunday or Monday. There are like 150 cars out here at night looking at
Damn.
this shit. Yeah,
Word
small
travels
town Ohio.
quick in small town
Yeah,
Ohio.
everybody knows everybody's business.
Everybody's
I
gossiping. Yeah.
grew up in a place like that, man. Like everybody always knows what everyone else is doing. You tell one person, they tell somebody else at church, and word gets around fast.
That's crazy.
17,000 people sounds like a lot of people.
No, that's like no one
but
for
like
a town.
in a pyramid, when one person sees Jesus on the side of an oil tank, 17,000 people.
That spreads like wildfire.
Yeah, yeah. An Ohio wildfire. It spreads like an Ohio train crash.
Yeah, there you go.
So, yeah, the town's going crazy over Soybean Jesus, man.
Soybean Jesus, it's such a good name.
I fucking love it, and it's the easiest way to find it. I found this through a Reddit thread that I was like, what's the weird local story from your town?
I like that, actually.
After R.I. Pizza, I was like, I kind of dig these. Like,
yeah, I like
the small
that.
town, like
I think it's
nothing
fun.
stories. They're just fun.
They're fun.
If you look it up, I'm going to be honest, you're not going to fucking find it.
No. I'm opening Photoshop to go to the generative image, and I'm going to type in Soybean Jesus.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And just see what pops up.
That'll be great. Yeah, so town goes crazy for it. This is like a 2-mile stretch of cars that are just like bumper to bumper traffic going out to see this visage. It takes, what is it? I think it was like 2 hours for these people to get 2 miles.
So that's basically the lines at snowboarding.
Yeah.
2-hour lines.
Pretty much one and the same, yeah. A 2-hour long 2-mile line. It's insane. The local paper their phones are exploding because they aren't there yet. They're like, yeah, like they got a couple calls about it. I think Rita called and was like, Jesus is on the side of the soybean oil tanks. And they're like, okay, Rita, like this is the 5th time you've called this month about seeing God somewhere in town. Let it go, honey. And so they initially the local paper's like, yeah, who gives a shit, man? Like this sounds silly, until they find out that everyone is leaving their home at sunset so that they can go see when the lights turn on so they can see God. So yeah, local papers like whatever, but they start getting calls about major traffic issues, and they're like, okay, there's a bigger story here. And that's kind of what the story that we're going to follow today is
okay.
Like, everybody's hyped up about this visage on the side of a fucking tank, but you also got to realize this is a small town, very, very small town in America.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really have the infrastructure for
tourism.
For national media coverage, which is what happened.
Oh, yeah.
CBS News.
They don't
did
have enough
fucking
motel rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CBS News did reports on this. One of the guys that I the reason I even found this was a guy that would do flights around the fucking tanks, and I think a small plane, and that was his first job. His first big boy job was flying people around so that they could see these tanks from a different view. It's crazy.
Hey, Darlene, break open the piggy bank. Tonight I'm taking you up in one of them aeroplanes.
We're going up in one of them helicopters, and we're going to look at the Lord.
Make sure the kids are dressed and to comb the hair.
Dude, so there's an 8-minute long video that I sent to our social media guru. I was like, you don't have to watch the whole thing, but the interviews that they have in there are fucking top notch. And I have quotes from some of their interviews. It's just goofy. So yeah, this town is just not ready for the influx of people that are coming in to come see this rust stain. It's literally a rust stain. Yeah. It's
jinx.
Yeah, that was an impressive jinx.
That was a
really
crazy
impressive. Holy shit. We'll have to cut that one. That one sounds like we're both reading notes. Great, our wives are yelling at each other again.
Oh God.
This is what I have to deal with when you're at work.
Yeah.
Sleeping.
What?
Yeah. Now, I guess to explain why there's rust on the side of this oil tank, which it's like one of those water tower tanks.
rain?
It's huge. Like this is a big ass tank. No,
Being exposed to the elements.
they have water vapor like spots that will like shoot out to release pressure and everything at the side of these tanks to also help kind
and
of
they're
cool
in the
it.
shape of Jesus's face. The builder put that in on purpose.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He went out there and welded like Jesus into the side, did like a little grinding for like some of the
Remove
shading.
the
Oh my, that's peanut Jesus. That's
peanuts.
seed. Oh my God, that's not soybean Jesus. Oh no, dude, soybean is one word.
Yeah, that
It
was
looks like it did soy bean Jesus.
it did. It 100%
That
did.
could have come out way
bean
worse.
Jesus.
I'm gonna be honest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So traffic is going fucking crazy. I mean, over vapor shooting and
It's
rusting the
probably
side of the tank.
like a 2-lane road.
Probably. It
Like-
wouldn't surprise me. I mean, based on the footage that I saw in the interviews, it looks like a back road.
Oh hell.
It looks
yeah.
like two lanes going opposite ways. That's it.
Yeah, it's the back road where Clegus and his gang drives around at night shooting hogs.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as newspapers start running with this story, it's image of Christ reported
Oh, my
west of
God.
town. Soybean Jesus visits Fostoria. Thousands jam streets in Fostoria to glimpse reported Christ image. It put this little town. That's wheat bean Jesus. What the fuck are these?
What the fuck?
Also, why does Jesus look the same in each picture?
Yeah.
It looked
It's
like the.
Lord.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna put.
Stable diffusion knows what God looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it puts Fostoria on the map. Everyone's like, this is the place.
Which
this
map,
is,
though?
Yeah.
Places not to go.
It finally put it on Ohio's map.
yeah.
It's the second coming. It's his big announcement as he put it on the side of a soybean
In
oil
buck
drum.
ass
Yeah, in the middle
Nowhereville,
of nowhere. Yeah, just like Jesus would do.
where
so-
his true people are.
The funny thing about this, though, is that if you drove past during the day, the rust you wouldn't see Jesus on the side of the tank. The only
Oh.
way that you would be able to see it is when the company security lights would come on. Okay, well,
I think that's the
just-
best we're gonna be able to.
That's
get.
green bean Jesus.
Well,
What
yeah,
the
that's
fuck is
because I
this?
put green bean.
Oh, okay, green bean Jesus. Just put in bean Jesus. I'm curious. Put in Jesus apostrophe bean. I'm curious if we can get like
Apostrophe bean.
yeah, Jesus with the little apostrophe. So it's Jesus bean. See if we can get like a Jesus clitoris on here.
Apostrophe bean. What does the
No,
apostrophe?
put the space. It's ownership. It's like saying Jesus is bean.
Oh! I thought.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck does apostrophe bean mean?
Jesus bean clitoris. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Uh-oh, the GPU isn't handling it well. Oh God, we might lose everything.
No. I'm doing too many
We
on the
can't.
free account.
To be fair, we probably shouldn't be trying to see the Lord's clitoris. So I guess
What?
that makes sense. Yeah. So these security lights would come on at night, and the way that the light would hit the raised rust, it would project this image onto the side of the tanks. So you couldn't see it during the daytime. It was only at
Okay.
night. Oh. And everybody would show up. Everybody would try to get like best seats in the house every night. So they would get there before sunset, and they'd just line the side of the streets. Locals wouldn't even go in
It's
their
like
cars.
the fucking 4th of July parade. People put
Yeah.
out their chairs the night
Yeah,
before with a
dude.
blanket. And
Oh, dude. And like the news companies that went out and reported these, it's like the best fucking interviews that you would ever find. It's amazing.
I completely believe that.
One of the interviews, a lady said, "This is my 4th time. I got Howard to come once. You know my Howard. It takes an act of Congress to get him out of the house. He won't come back with me, though. He says it makes him feel weird."
What the fuck?
I know, dude. They're truck drivers that are trying to like get through this traffic. They're yelling out their windows like, "What's the hold up?" And people are just like responding, "It's Jesus," and they're like, "What the fuck are you talking
What the
about?"
fuck is happening?
A local ice cream shop owner went out with his little ice cream truck and
Oh my God, I
sold
bet he made
ice
a
cream
killing.
on the side. He was interviewed by CBS News, and he said, "I thought, well, everyone's gonna be hungry sitting out here all this time waiting, so I'm waiting too, just in hopes to sell some ice cream and see Jesus." Like,
But
some
can
of
you?
the
I'm imagining the Sonic, like popsicle, but Jesus, and it's all fucked up and
his
melted.
eyes are all fucking crooked and shit.
Okay, somebody with a connection to an ice cream manufacturer needs to make this, please.
Well, Jesus, ice cream pops. Oh my God, that's a good. I didn't even fucking
That's
think
such
of
a
that.
good
I
idea.
love it. But yeah,
Holy
like people
shit.
are flipping this whole event for profit, which it's America. You would
Well, yeah.
expect that to happen. There's a local like family photographer that's really trying to get like into the business. He doesn't have a huge portfolio. His portfolio is pretty much like his family scrapbook. And he goes out there with his Polaroid camera and he goes, "Hey, look, you pay me $2. I'll take a picture of you in front of the soybean Jesus."
$2.
Yeah, $2 in 1986. That's steep, but he knows people are going to pay it. And he's got to make back all the money for those fucking expensive Polaroids.
Yeah.
So while it would develop, he would pull out his portfolio, his family scrapbook, and he would show people, "Oh, yeah, these are the photos that I take as well." And my guess is he would just like write on their hand, like, "Oh, call this number or whatever. I'll be set up here." Eventually, he made enough money from doing this. I think over like 1 or 2 weekends, he sold like 700 pictures.
Damn.
Yeah, insane. But he ended up making enough money that he was able to open a photo shop in
What the hell?
Fostoria, Ohio. Yeah, it's insane.
The Lord works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, you know what? A miracle is what I would call that. And yeah, I love that like it gave an opportunity to some of these people that never really had the chance to get on top of things, you know what I mean? But then you also get people that are just like pieces of shit. We'll talk about them. But somebody had told this guy, the photographer, "You'll never be able to take a photograph of it because you can't take a picture of God."
Where does it say that in the Bible?
I fucking love the quotes that come out of this. They're some of
These
the
are amazing.
all-time quotes that we're going to get. Yeah, there was another dude showed up, and he had 1,000 mugs.
Oh, no.
Now,
What a hustler.
One of the photos, or I guess the big photo that was taken that was released like everywhere, was done by this guy with the Polaroid camera. It was given to news companies.
So it was probably just like a photocopy of a Polaroid,
dude,
so it looked like
looks,
ass.
It looks so bad.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
You see more cars in it, and then you see the tank at the end, but it's so tiny. It's like I don't even know what the fuck.
You couldn't
this
even
thing
get
is.
close.
Yeah. And so this guy had that picture printed on fucking mugs. And was
I would
selling
buy
those.
dude.
He had
I would buy one of those.
He had
Are you
other
kidding me?
mugs that said "I saw the image," and he was selling
Fuck
these
yes.
mugs for $4 a pop.
Damn.
Some other dude spent like $1,800 and bought like a shit ton of T-shirts that said "I saw the image," and he ended up making like triple his money. It's just like it's so
That's wild.
goofy how quickly people were just like, "I will spend like." I mean, this is 86. Like,
Yeah.
$2 and $4. Like, I mean, those are pretty standard prices for a picture and a shirt, but like everyone's getting them. It's just wild.
Homie's rolling in it.
Yeah, and imagine 10 years later, your kids are going through and they're like, "Dad, what the fuck is this T-shirt? I saw the image," and he's like, "I honestly don't remember. I don't remember
yeah.
what image I saw."
Is that the?
Why does that look like the guy that used to live down here? Like a cleaner version.
Yeah. Should I download that for the?
Those green beans are massive. They look like
They're
fucking
huge.
cucumbers. They're huge. Yes, that should be the image
Unless
for.
I get something better, that's it.
Yeah, that should be do it in color because it is God.
It is God.
But yeah, just like the silliest. It's like parade T-shirts, you know. Like, you're just like, what the fuck is this? Like, I'm never going to wear this anywhere. I saw the
Dude,
image.
I would wear that shirt.
I saw
Are you
the
kidding
image. Like, it's just so goofy.
Okay.
I would wear it now. It would be like my smoking shirt, but like,
me? Okay,
it's
all right.
just silly.
If I can get a big enough image, I'm gonna print off some shirts.
You could probably throw it onto our store.
Throw it onto
That would
the
be
store
funny.
and just get that.
I saw the image. Yeah, people are lining up early just so that they can see this, but as is kind of the situation with a lot of these visages that people will see, not everybody's a huge fan. Some people are like, this is just like a natural, like you guys are seeing what you want to see. It's like I said before, you're seeing like an image in the clouds kind of thing. Like, you're looking for
and
it.
I imagine there's some people who are like, this is disrespectful.
Yeah. There
Party
are
poopers.
some skeptics that are showing up, and they're like, I don't see the shit. Like, sorry about it. But most of all, the owner of the soybean oil tank, Archer Daniels, hated this popularity. He hated what was going on outside his factory because the traffic is causing major delays to everything that they're trying to do. He has night workers that are showing up like an hour late to work because the traffic is going so fucking far. He has delivery trucks that are stuck in traffic.
The soybean oil is going bad. It's stuck in traffic.
Imagine being stuck in traffic for an hour, and then you finally get to the plant, you get loaded up, and now you've got to be stuck immediately in traffic for another hour to get out of it. So it's created this logistical nightmare for him, and he's just like, what the fuck do I do, man? He has it's gotten so bad
blow up
that,
the tank.
The local fucking, what was it? The local police chief shows up and is like, hey, we're kind of frustrated with all of this as well. Like, obviously, you got to have police out here when you have like triple your town's fucking population on one road. And so the police chief tells him, turn the lights off. Like, carry me home. Just turn these lights off at night. People aren't going to come back. And he goes, yeah, but think of how many people I have outside. And if I turn the lights off, the security lights, it creates a security risk because people are going to be like, we got to get those lights back on, and we don't have lights on for our fucking cameras to see because it's a conundrum. And Archer's pissed. He even comes out and he says, hey, we repaint these tanks like multiple times a year so that it covers up these rust spots. We're going to paint over this. Like, I hate to break it to you guys, but he's not a permanent fixture. Like, I'm painting over Jesus. Sorry, deal with it. And people are like, you can't do that. You can't paint over God. And it's preposterous. It's created this whole fucking drama in town.
I just love this drama. I can just imagine old Ohioans.
Can you imagine a month of just like the drama in the newspaper they're reading about this? It's incredible.
It's the most action any of them have seen for their entire lives.
I know, dude.
Oh.
So yeah, everybody's all fired up about this, and people started holding Save the Tank protests.
Oh my God.
There are people that are outside the tanks that are just, they're crying and they're like, this is the most beautiful thing I've seen, and they just want to destroy it. They're all upset over it. This
is just like what Jesus felt before he was crucified.
This is what prosecution is like. Or persecution. Persecution. I suppose he went through the same thing. Somebody so all this drama has been going on. There are obviously two strong sides to this story, and this has been going on for, I think it was like 3-4 weeks that
that's
they've kind of left it out there. It's been going wild. But about midway through September, everyone wakes up in Fostoria. They're going about their day, oh well, we gotta go see the rusty Jesus tonight. But as people are driving past in the afternoon, they notice something different about the tanks.
Someone drew a mustache on the Jesus.
That would be fucking awesome. I'll be honest. If it was that, I'd be like, I would delve even deeper into this story. No, they're driving past, and there are like 15 splotches of paint where this Jesus is.
They got him. The
Yeah.
devil's agents.
And people are like, what the hell happened here? Like, what kind of degenerate, Lord-hating asshole is coming out
Un-American
here?
communist.
Yeah. Came out and tried to ruin this whole thing. Effectively did ruin it for everyone that liked it. And they're like, who done it? Who took my Jesus away, you know? And the town's in shock, and they're all kind of gossiping. Oh, maybe it was this person. And then some dude named Ricky Sims steps up and says, it was me.
Classic
Takes
Ricky.
full credit for it. He's like, it was me. I'm fucking tired of it. He worked as a local fireman. And when word got out that Ricky had filled water balloons with paint and threw them
Classic Ricky.
to hit Jesus and cover him up, he was like, I'm not going to be interviewed.
He was
Like,
lynched.
Leave me alone about it. And so they went to the first person that would answer questions, which was the fire chief. The fire chief goes, yeah, we knew Ricky was planning on this for a little while. We knew what Ricky had been doing. Realistically, I don't really blame him. Ricky's quite the fisherman, and all this traffic really fucked up his drive to go out fishing. And so he's been in an off mood for the last month or so. So looks like he finally decided to do something about it. So Ricky threw these water balloon filled, or I guess these paint filled water balloons.
Ricky
so that he could go
Jesus
fishing.
so that he could go fishing,
So
which
he could go
Jesus,
fishing.
as Jesus said, teach a man to fish.
Yeah. He'll feed himself
He'll
for
feed
a lifetime.
himself for a lifetime.
Teach a man how to fill water balloons with
Full of
paint
He
and
becomes a
throw them
political
at
activist.
pictures of Jesus, and
He gets
can
lynched by
fish.
small town Ohio.
Yeah, he can fish for a lifetime, even after getting his vandalism charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is the most Ohio fucking
Classic.
story for Ricky to just. He goes, yeah, fuck it. Hey, if the company isn't gonna paint over it, I'll paint over it. But I mean, it worked. Eventually, I think like within a month or so, the factory is like, yeah, I mean, we're not going to get shit anymore about painting over it. So they end up painting over it, over fucking Soybean Jesus.
Ricky the hero.
Yeah, in all honesty, yeah, Ricky the hero. And yeah, people called for Ricky to be fucking hanged. They called for him to be tarred
That's
and
very
feathered.
Christ-like of them.
I know, right? Can you imagine tarring and feathering someone over covering up like
A rust stain.
a debatable picture of Jesus?
Dude, people are psycho.
People
like
were
it
nuts
just
in the
shows
80s.
man, I don't want to get all political. No, but it just shows that there are a lot of people who say that they're religious and say that they're Christian, but don't actually espouse the values of the religion itself.
That's why I'm not religious, because in my case, I can say I think that everyone that says he should be tarred and feathered should be tarred and feathered.
Yeah.
And it's not problematic for me to say that because I'm not Christ-like.
Yeah, and you're not saying T-A-R-R-E-D and feathered. You're saying T-A-R-D and feathered.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
should be
yeah.
tarred and feathered.
Yeah. Yeah. So Ricky ends up losing his job. He ends up getting a vandalism charge, but
Come on.
it disappears overnight.
Well, I'm going to say, is the company really going to charge him for vandalism? Like, are they going to uphold those
That's
charges
fair,
if
yeah.
they wanted that to happen anyway?
Yeah,
Like,
it's just like, I wonder. But yeah, so I would assume that he probably threw the wrong color, and so they're like, God damn it!
yeah. So they had to do, yeah.
It was like their competitors' colors. They're like
Yeah.
orange and brown, and their competitors are like green and blue. They're like, why did he do green and blue? What the fuck were you, Ricky? You idiot!
Ricky, come on.
You could have helped us out here. Yeah, so town gets all mad, but they're mad for like a day until they're like, well, at least I got to see it. And the hype for this whole thing just virtually
It's just
disappears
gone.
overnight. Yeah. Everything gets painted over. After the years went by, the people who claim to have seen it again, they drive past every so often and be like, oh my God. But it's like, it's the same rust. Like,
Yeah, it's being caused by the same forces.
Look, his robe has more definition in it this time. And so it's like people are going to be looking for the same thing. In Florida, there was a report in like 2005, I think, where they were like, Soybean Jesus has made an appearance in Florida, probably some small town Florida place. But yeah, none of these ever gained nearly as much hype as much hype and excitement and fucking publicity as Fostoria had in 1986, and that was their claim to fame. Claim to fame always has been, and that's the
town that Jesus came back.
Yeah. Jesus' second coming was on. Jesus came on a soybean oil plant,
and he raptured everybody who met the criteria. We've been living in hell ever since.
Yeah, just like everyone thinks that Adam and Eve, not everyone, Mormons think that Adam and Eve came to Missouri.
Yeah.
The second coming was in Ohio, and we missed it. So we're all technically living in sin now. After the rapture happened.
I did come across this thing where it was showing like this. This is what some people believe the birthplace, or not the birthplace, the like grave of Adam is, and they have to keep building it because when the final brick is laid on Adam's grave, the apocalypse begins. So they're just perpetually building this complex.
Isn't that essentially like the Tower of Babylon?
It's it's more like the Winchester House.
Oh, okay, yeah. They're just a bunch of doors that go to nowhere.
Yeah,
so
a bunch of corners.
So it confuses Cain and Abel.
Yeah, they're trying to kill each other out there.
We just got to keep them in a maze forever. Well, eventually we'll build a minotaur, and he'll build a maze, and Cain and Abel will never be able to find each other, and Adam will come back, along with God. Like whatever. Okay. Fucking ridiculous.
I love that this episode really devolved into being 50 minutes of us making fun of poor people in Ohio.
Yeah, poor dumb people in Ohio. But I mean, what else is out there?
I mean, what else?
Hey, if you're from Ohio and you have a family photo of you in front of the 86,
send it to us.
Soybean Jesus, send it along. But same shit like this. Like, this is the big thing I kind of want to push on this whole thing is that everybody's small town has some silly fucking story like this. It's the thing that everybody knows about. It's the weird guy that rides around on a bike that gives trading cards to kids or whatever. Like, there's something weird in every small town.
So send us yours.
If there's something like that you guys have or know about a town nearby you that has some silly shit like that, send it to us, because this stuff is so fucking fun to dive into.
Like my small town story, because I never lived in a small town growing up, really, was that the person in the apartment above us got shot. Yeah,
that was the same apartment that I lived in.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Your dad and I have talked about it. I was like, hey, I live at this place now. What was it? El Caliente Apartments or some weird shit in Salt Lake?
No, not those ones.
Oh, not those ones?
No. We did live there very briefly when I was very small.
Well, I thought it was that one.
No, that one was in like
Glendale.
Bountiful, not really Bountiful, on the edge kind of there. Yeah. When it was less gentrified than it is now.
Back before it was Centerville.
Yeah. That's about it. Oh no, my actually I do have one, but it was created by my father and my uncle.
The weird small town story?
Yeah. They were, we were all in apartment buildings, and my aunt and uncle, I don't remember if they lived there at that time, but we were in this apartment building and we had crazy snow one year.
Uh-huh.
And they just built like a giant snowman.
Oh, okay.
Like 30 feet tall.
Jesus Christ.
And then the news came. Must have been a slow news day. And then the news story was about how all the kids in the community came together to build this thing. Bitch, no. It was like my dad and my uncle. And I watched them do it. And then as soon as the news showed up, all the kids came out. Fuckers took the steam.
Yeah, my dad was on the news too.
Yeah. He was a Manson follower, right?
Yeah. It was after he murdered all those pregnant women.
Sharon Tate.
No, he was reading a book at it was one of those like, you have like donuts in the morning before school, and everybody's dad comes out.
Books with
was called Dads and Donuts. was
Dads and
ours.
Donuts. Yeah. Is
but
this
yeah.
gonna dox you?
Nah,
Okay,
even
okay.
if it did, I don't give a shit. But he was on the news. He was reading like our favorite book. I actually have it. I think it's in the closet. But it was like a Sesame Street book, and he would read it all animated and shit. And the news like sat and recorded it that morning. We used to have the VHS of it that he's
Okay.
reading it, and my mom was like, "Oh my god, he's on the news." Yeah,
And then a
it's
guy comes
just-
up behind him and says, "A second plane has hit the tower."
Yeah, and he goes, "Oh," and he just stands up and leaves. But yeah, everybody's got some silly shit like that. So send us yours. It'd be cool. You got those names for Patreon though? I suppose while you're pulling that up, if you guys are interested in an additional episode every month, some exclusive content, AJ's series called Voices, check us out on Patreon. If you can't afford to join, that's okay. We have a free tier, and you get some exclusive stuff on there as well. So make your free account and check us out. Patreon.com/points-o-pressure.
Yeah. So, soybean enjoyers, Minnie D. Thomas and Toddle Waddle. Thank
Yeah.
you guys so much.
Yeah. Famous soy boys.
Famous soy boys and followers of Our Lady of Fatima.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we've got Abby, AJ's Third Nut, Nordic Thunder, Weston, Dark Runner, D's Nuts, G-Dog, and Grover. Thank you all so much for, doing that thing.
Yeah.
Supporting, commenting,
Yeah. Helping
sending
us
it
out.
to your friends.
Yeah, we appreciate
Yeah.
you guys.
Thank you.
very much. You've made it so that I actually have to report this on my taxes now. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And if you guys ever have any recommendations for, I'll say it again, local news stories that are kind of silly. If you ever have any recommendations for movies, TV shows, books, magazine articles you find, dirty magazines that you find, if you want to send us any gifts, by all means, feel free to reach out to us on Instagram at pointsopressure. You can send us an email at ppdnaj@gmail.com, or feel free to go to our website, pointsopressure.com, go to the Contact Us page, and send us an email or a voicemail, and we'll see you fucks next Monday.